Yo, how's it going? Jason Derulo sued by singer alleging he demanded snoo or sex, in exchange for a record deal. So let's get right into it. Singer Imaza Gibson, I think that's how you pronounce it, alleges that Jason Derulo promised her a record deal, but then pressured her for sex in exchange for her career advancing, as charged in a bombshell lawsuit. I'm at this point in my life right now, it's very heartbreaking, Gibson 25 told NBC News on Wednesday. Now I have no clue what the truth of the matter is. Maybe if it gets to court, maybe if there's like some sort of like discovery, maybe more things will come out. But the problem that I see is like going through the like civil way, but not like a criminal way. That's like a weird thing to go through. So Gibson moved to LA in 2008 to pursue a music career with her sisters, Saria and Zunui, as the music act Saradi, and their YouTube channel has over 1 million subscribers. Props to them. Gibson's sisters no longer work in music, but Gibson was hoping to pursue a solo career. In a lawsuit filed Thursday in LA County Superior Court, Gibson alleges that Derulo eventually dropped her deal after she rejected his sexual advances and invitations to dine out and drink alcohol. Gibson accuses the Whatcha Say singer of quid pro quo sexual harassment. I have anxiety, I'm traumatized, I've dealt with inhumane work situations. I'm at this point where I'm back to zero and I have nothing, she said. I mean, inhumane work situations, I could probably think of quite a few inhumane working situations. Like, for example, like in India, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people working in landfills dealing with chemical waste day in, day out, and they live next to chemical waste landfills. I think that's a pretty inhumane situation, like work situation. But, you know, I don't know what she had to deal with. According to the lawsuit in August 2021, Derulo reached out to Gibson to become involved in a venture between his music imprint, Future History, and Atlantic Records. The filing also said that her contract required her to have a single featuring Derulo and to produce a mixtape in 4 months and an album in six. She began working with Derulo to create music to present to Atlantic Records executives, she said, and during this time, Derulo often invited her to drinks and dinner at a members only lounge. She turned down these invitations, hoping to keep the relationship professional, she alleged. According to the lawsuit, he also began inviting her to drink during their studio sessions. In September 2021, she agreed to have a drink with Derulo in the studio and was given inappropriately large amounts of alcohol, the suit says. I told him that I wasn't a drinker, so it's like you're not listening to that the first time I tell you, and you're still pushing on me, Gibson said. It's like pressure at this point. In November of 2021, Gibson traveled to New York City in November to meet with Atlantic executives and finalize her deal. Before the meeting, Derulo allegedly told Gibson that a woman named Rosa would be joining them. According to the suit, the woman told Gibson that Derulo invited her along because he was on some FS, implying that Derulo was in an intimate relationship with Rosa. Derulo then showcased Rosa's music, the lawsuit alleges. Gibson saw this as a sign of Rosa's career progress because you're sleeping with his dude, she said. So I noted that as well because, okay, she's advancing, she said. The filing claims that when Gibson commented that she was thrown off by Rosa, Derulo lost control and began aggressively hitting his armrest, screaming, "What does she have to do with you? We weren't going to tell you anything. We don't have to tell you anything." He then allegedly went radio silent following this exchange, failing to assign Gibson a project manager for her work and ignoring messages. According to the lawsuit, Gibson spoke to an executive from Atlantic who said the Atlantic team wants you to win, but I can't say the same for Jason. And then Gibson was dropped from Atlantic on September 6, 2022. Gibson's lawyer, Ron Zambrano, said Derulo not only broke promises and breached contracts, but his threats of physical harm and unconscionable sexual advances toward this young woman who was just trying to break into the industry were outrageous and illegal. The Post reached out to Jason Derulo and Atlantic Records for comment. Now, I obviously don't know what happened in this situation. I don't know if she's telling the truth or not, but there has been like allegations over the past few years when it came to Jason Derulo, where like he would force people allegedly to like sign NDAs, potentially doing something very sketchy. But again, no idea if that's true. No idea if this situation is true. It's just like you would think that they would try to go down more so a criminal route rather than a lawsuit because a lawsuit implies that her main goal is to get money out of it. But with a civil, or like with a criminal case, right? A criminal suit, you're actually alleging that he committed a crime. Punishment by like jail and or prison. So you would think that she would go more so that way if in fact things did go how she described. But who knows? Now again, I don't know if he technically like even like with like these statements if that is enough for sexual harassment. I have no idea. But it'd be interesting to see what happens from this. One thing's for sure though, Jason Derulo has been basically in the news recently, not because of something potentially heinous, but that he basically blatantly steals people's content and just goes like reacting to it, but not really reacting to it. Is like, oh, look at this video, nods. Or just gets a haircut, looks at a video. Or just looks at a video, doesn't even do anything. And he's probably making like a few six figures with his like reaction content when it's not really reaction content. So, does he have like good morals to begin with? Not really, because he's just blatantly stealing content. So, is it possible that he did something like this? Probably. But again, who knows what really went down? Let's see some of these comments. So this person says, translation, her music career flopped and now she is trying to make money by suing. Let's see. Let's see. This person says it is not illegal for one adult to make advances toward another adult. Just because her career didn't take off doesn't give her a case. See, this is like a weird situation, right? Because like I don't know if this would be deemed as sexual harassment because they didn't have like a boss and employee relationship. It was more so like two people working on a project together that didn't go through, and one person was interested in the other person, but the other person was not interested. And it doesn't really seem like he forced her to do anything. So it's like, I don't know. Like, maybe she felt pressured, but is that illegal? I don't know. Because, like, it gets. Like, it might be like a different situation if, like, let's say that there was like a contractual obligation where he was like the employer, she was an employee, and then that gets super weird in terms of like legality when it comes to like sexual harassment. But if it's just like two people working on a project together because they're trying to present that project to people that might pay them for it, and things kind of get weird on the personal side, I don't know if that really deems as like illegal harassment. Hmm. And also because of like I think a recent revelation about another allegation of this type of context, but like way worse, and that one basically was a lie and ruined the guy's reputation. And the girl tried to steal like millions and millions of dollars from the guy from these allegations. Like, the problem is when so many people end up creating false allegations towards these like public male figures, a lot of people start to like look at these allegations and be like, but did it really happen kind of thing, which is like a sad thing because then like real victims of potentially heinous things aren't going to feel like they are going to be believed if they were to make the allegations. So it's like a really sad situation regardless. Interesting. Feel free to give your thoughts about this. I just thought it was kind of interesting because Jason Derulo has been getting a lot of attention lately because of just blatantly stealing people's content, potentially costing a lot of people hundreds of thousands of dollars while he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars from this content that he's stealing. For like example, hold on. So let's do this. Just so that I can show people what I'm like even talking about as to him stealing content. So Jason Derulo, YouTube. Nope, I am not going to allow the song to be played, right? So, this guy's got like 21.7 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. Now, you think that might be because of his songs, right? Because he got like 1.7 billion views, nearly a billion views, nearly half a billion views, etc. You think it's because of these as to why his subscriber count is so massive. It is not because of that. It is because of these, the shorts. Because he's constantly getting crazy amounts of views on these videos. Just constant. Because of just the sheer amount of output that he can do with it. It's like he doesn't even like actually react to any of these things. It's just like blatant content stealing. So, actually, let's do this. So, Jason Derulo, Social Blade. So, let's see. So, video views for the last 30 days 1.486 billion views, right? Potentially making nearly 400K per month, all the way up to maybe 6 million per month. Potentially is making 4.5 million a year to 71.3 million a year because of his viewership count. Like, this is crazy. And this is the reason why it's basically all that short content that he's stealing. It's all from right here. So basically, he was averaging about anywhere from 50 to like about 80 million views per month, right? In this area. But then it goes from right here, the May 87, June 215 million. This one's 524 million. Then 1,199,752,000 video views. And then 1,711,472,291 video views. Like, this guy is like making like a crazy amount of money potentially from his stolen content, and also just building up his brand too, which is kind of crazy. Like, like if anything, a lot of these content creators should sue him for blatantly stealing their content and posting their video on his channel without him basically really doing anything to their video. So, at least that's what should potentially happen. Is it going to happen? No. But in terms of like actual legitimate civil lawsuits that could actually get him to pay up, that's probably a more like achievable civil lawsuit.